Today is Friday, May 9th. We're talking about the first American-born pope in history and his first message to the world since taking the helm of the Catholic Church. Also, we have details from President Trump's first deal with a major trading partner. Plus, we'll tell you what former President Biden had to say during his first live TV interview post-presidency. How one of the most influential charities in the world is ramping up giving and winding down operations. And we'll recap some of the biggest moments from last night's Academy of Country Music Awards. Those stories and even more news to know coming up. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in around 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. On just the second day of the conclave, the world was introduced to a new pope. For the first time in the 2,000-year history of the Catholic Church, an American has taken over. Cardinal Robert Prevost was elected and decided to take the name of Pope Leo XIV. Pope Leo was born in Chicago, so choosing him defied a long-standing belief that church leaders would never pick a pope from a global superpower like the U.S. that already has so much influence around the world. But the new pope actually spent most of his career as a minister of Peru before taking over the Vatican's powerful office of bishops. So with a more diverse history, many apparently believe he transcends borders. When the white smoke billowed out of the Vatican chimney, a crowd of around 150,000 people gathered to catch a glimpse of the new pope. In his first words as leader, Pope Leo spoke about peace and a unified church. Soon he'll be faced with difficult decisions impacting the direction of the church and the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. On a wider scale, many world leaders say they hope they can work with the new pope to champion peace, justice, human dignity, development, and so on. We talk more about the new pope, his influence, and how he may be the same or different from Pope Francis on this weekend's special edition Saturday episode. There are growing fears of a war brewing between two nuclear-armed rivals in South Asia. Most recently, India accused Pakistan of attacking 3 of its military bases with drones and missiles. Pakistan denied it, but earlier said it killed dozens of Indian soldiers along the border in Kashmir and downed more than 24 Indian drones, whereas India confirmed its targeted air defense systems in Pakistan. Authorities have also announced blackouts along parts of the border between the two countries. And these are just the latest developments in a series of assaults since a terror attack in the disputed Kashmir region last month. Here in the U.S., Secretary of State Marco Rubio has spoken to leaders in both Pakistan and India, asking them to de-escalate. And he encouraged more communication. President Trump announced the first trade deal since last month's so-called Liberation Day tariffs. Some exact details still need to be worked out, but at least the framework of a deal has been agreed to by both the U.S. and the U.K. It leaves in place the 10% tariffs the U.S. levied on imports from nearly all foreign countries. But the Trump administration agreed to lower vehicle tariffs from 25% to 10% for the first 100,000 British cars sent to the U.S. And Britain won't also have tariffs on steel and aluminum. In exchange, the UK increased the quota on beef imports from the U.S. and said it would remove a tariff on ethanol that's used in manufacturing. The two countries also agreed to work on a deeper tech partnership. And President Trump said this deal will be the first of many. But elsewhere, leaders are preparing for talks to fail. The European Union says it has a plan to hit more than $100 billion worth of U.S. exports with extra tariffs if ongoing trade talks don't end with a good agreement. The retaliatory tariffs would target Boeing aircraft, American-made cars, bourbon, and more. That said, the EU and U.S. are still talking and hoping to find a solution. The FAA has a new plan to upgrade America's air traffic control systems over the next 3 years. It's the broadest attempt in a long time to overhaul the aging system that manages some 45,000 flights a day and has started to show signs of strain. The plan lays out the need for 4,600 high-speed network connections for data and communications. It also says more than 600 radar systems need to be replaced nationwide and calls for 6 new air traffic control centers, 15 new airport towers, 25,000 new radios, and more. The plan has drawn support from airline CEOs, major unions, trade groups, airplane manufacturers, and other associations. To make it happen, Congress will need to pass tens of billions of dollars in funding. But there are already some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who say they will make a bipartisan effort to get a bill passed in the name of air safety. To be continued. First Lady Melania Trump honored another former First Lady at the White House this week. She unveiled the new Barbara Bush postage stamp. Some members of the Bush family joined her to honor the matriarch, but notably, they did not include her sons, former President George W. Bush or former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. They've both butted heads with President Trump in the past, as did their mother, though it's not clear if that had anything to do with them skipping out on the ceremony. First Lady Melania Trump spoke highly of Barbara Bush, saying her legacy is, quote, marked by her respect for tradition while also breaking with convention. She mentioned how Bush supported women's empowerment, changed the national conversation on AIDS, championed literacy, and more. The former First Lady died in 2018. Now, First Lady Trump says she hopes the new stamp can inspire others. More news still ahead in just a minute, but first, this episode is brought to you by Quince. Whether it's a season change or just me getting tired of the same rotation of clothes, I can turn to Quince for a daily uniform upgrade. And I love that my friends have started looking to Quince too. In fact, just the other weekend, I noticed how soft my friend's shirt was, and she told me it was Quince thanks to me. It's no wonder, since their pieces are easy, elevated, and somehow will make you feel more put together without even trying. I've even started turning to Quince for other items in my life, like when I needed a new suitcase for my upcoming summer travel. I just got their hardcover carry-on, and I love it. The color and style are beautiful, and the features are super functional and high quality. And yet, Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than what you'd find at similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. Treat your closet to a little summer glow up with Quince. Go to quince.com/newsworthy for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/newsworthy to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/newsworthy. Now back to the news. This Sunday is Mother's Day. Like most years, the most popular gifts are flowers, greeting cards, and special outings like dinner or brunch. A few other popular options are jewelry, beauty products, subscription boxes, and gift cards. But of course, you don't have to spend big to make the moms in your life feel special. Financial experts suggest preparing meals at home, watching mom's favorite movies, or making a homemade card. Of course, this can be a difficult day for anyone who has a complicated relationship with their mother or whose mom has passed away. If that's you, psychologists suggest making the day your own. You can celebrate with memories of your mother or surround yourself with the people you love. Of course, it's also okay to just avoid things that remind you of the holiday. However you choose to celebrate or not, we do want to tell all the moms listening right now, we appreciate all that you do and wish you a very happy Mother's Day weekend. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates is speeding up plans to give away his wealth. Gates now says he'll lower his estimated $108 billion net worth by 99% over the next 20 years. The money will go to his charitable foundation, adding to the more than $77 billion already in the endowment. The Gates Foundation will then double its spending over the next 2 decades, and after dispersing the billions, it will close its doors at the end of 2045. In that time, it will focus especially on ending preventable childbirth deaths, getting rid of deadly infectious diseases, and lifting people out of poverty. It also wants to improve education in the U.S. and address climate change-related issues. As for Gates, he says he'll still be plenty comfortable after giving away 99% of his wealth and that the rest of his family will be okay too. Right now, he's the 5th richest person in the world, even after already giving away tens of billions of dollars. President Trump once again turned to Fox News as he looked for his newest nominee, and this time he went with one of the network's most well-known personalities. Trump picked Judge Jeanine Pirro to serve as interim U.S. Attorney for D.C. In other words, she'll be the Capitol's top federal prosecutor. She was a prosecutor on a smaller scale for many years before starring on the courtroom reality show Judge Jeanine Pirro and later Justice with Judge Jeanine on Fox News. Most recently, Pirro has been co-host of The Five, and she's just the latest in a long line of Fox News veterans tapped for Trump's orbit. Former President Biden sat down for his first live TV interview since leaving the White House. He appeared with former First Lady Jill Biden on ABC's The View. In sitting with the panel, they both said there's no truth to stories about the former president having cognitive decline during his last few months in office. And former President Biden said the only reason he decided to drop out of the 2024 race is because he hoped that would unite the Democratic Party. He also suggested that sexism had something to do with why his Vice President Kamala Harris eventually lost. As for what they're doing now, First Lady Jill Biden is chairing a women's health initiative for the Milken Institute. Former President Biden says he's, quote, trying to figure out what's the most significant and consequential role I can play. And he's encouraging Harris to continue to stay fully engaged. Some of country's biggest stars came together last night for the 60th Annual Academy of Country Music Awards. Lainey Wilson was the night's big winner. She took home Entertainer of the Year for the second year in a row, and that was after she had already taken home Best Female Artist and Album of the Year. Best Male Artist went to Chris Stapleton. And Alan Jackson won the ACM's first Lifetime Achievement Award that's now being named after him. The ACM Awards opened with a performance of country classics from the last 60 years, including Reba McEntire singing Merle Haggard's Okie from Muskogee. The medley also included Clint Black, Wynonna Judd, LeAnn Rimes, and more. And the show was closed out with a performance from Rascal Flatts and Backstreet Boys. That's it for the main news today, so now it's time for Feel Good Friday, when we bring you one extra feel-good or positive news story before the weekend. But first, a word from our sponsor. It's that time of year, and while I love spring and summer for most things, it unfortunately comes with sneezing, itchy eyes, and nonstop congestion for some people. So why suffer when relief could be just a click away? ZocDoc has you covered with easy access to a nearby allergist, a pediatrician for your little ones, a telehealth option for quick care, and more. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance. That's a huge benefit. You can also check for doctors that are located nearby, are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and are highly rated by verified patients. I love using it as a simple search engine for doctors, whether I want to find a new one or check out more reviews from real patients. Once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment openings, choose a time slot that works for you, and click to instantly book a visit. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/newsworthy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/newsworthy. ZocDoc.com/newsworthy. Now back to Feel Good Friday. Today, we're talking about how strangers took time out of their day just to make a young boy smile. The boy's mom is named Nadja Jovanovic. She says her son has always been obsessed with cars. So ahead of his 4th birthday, she posted an unusual request on social media. Nadja went to her city's private Facebook group and asked if anyone with a cool car would be willing to stop by their house. She was hoping to surprise her son with a sighting of some kind. Well, more than a dozen different cars showed up, including sports cars and police patrol cars. The boy was able to see them all up close and even rev the engines. Nadja says she was moved that people took an interest, no questions asked. So she decided to upload a video about it to TikTok. Well, now millions of people ended up seeing it in just a matter of days and shared it all over the world. We'll be back tomorrow with our special edition Saturday episode. We'll tell you why the Pope matters to even non-Catholics and where Pope Leo XIV seems to stand on a variety of issues. Then join us again Monday for another Daily News Roundup. For now, thank you so much for listening and have a great weekend.